Several world leaders and top-level government officials have arrived in London for a conference on Somalia. The aim of the meeting is to provide international support to the Horn of Africa nation in its course to achieving peace and stability by 2020. Now, talks will focus on security, humanitarian relief and political reform to Somalia's fragile government. Somalia has been in turmoil since 1991. Over the past several years, it has faced an insurgency by Al-Shabaab, which the government is battling with the help of regional troops. Well, let's bring you more on this London conference. We're joined now from Mogadishu by CGTN's Abdulaziz Bello. Abdulaziz, of course, as Somalia's leadership meets with world leaders in London, what would you say are the expectations of Somalis on the ground at home from this year's London conference?
Well, Lindy, very high expectations here on the ground. The many people we've talked to here in the country, and bearing in mind the conference is taking place right now in London, and it's being televised live on all television outlets here in Somalia, and it's also a trending topic on Twitter, especially among Somalis. They are talking about the conference and their hopes there on social media. So it's quite a big thing for many here in Somalia and also outside Somalia. What the expectation on the people on the ground here is that they want tangible changes, and the tangible changes should come in immediately after the conference. They don't want it to remain like the previous summits that were being held outside Somalia. This is the third London conference and the fifth international conference on Somalia to take place since 2012. They want real action on the ground, and Somalia itself, once it went to this summit, the president said that Somalia was going there much better prepared with a clear agenda to present to the international community to address the many challenges that face the country here, chief among them security and the drought, and also the socio-economic development, so that the vast majority of the Somali population can have employment opportunities. So the expectation here is quite immense, bearing in mind that all the Somali international actors are convening in London so that they can better address the issue of Somalia. So Somalis are quite optimistic that the world is indeed focusing on supporting Somalia.
And in fact, to just tell us more about how Somalis will measure the success of this year's conference. You talk about tangible benefits and a more clear agenda, but what areas will be the key focus points for Somalia?
Well, the government there, according to the president, is saying that they've gone there much better prepared compared to the previous London conferences that took place in the past, and also in Brussels and in Copenhagen. So the security issue comes out quite clearly. The government is going there with a clear agenda. One is that they appreciate the role of the African Union force, and it has done a commendable job here in liberating the vast south-central regions of the country from the Al-Shabaab. They want a strong Somali national army, and the plan by the government is to form 18,000 strong military. Part of them have already been trained, but they want the international community to ensure that by the end of 2017, Somalia has trained 18,000 servicemen so that they can be able to bolster AMISOM in areas where they've already liberated. So security will be the chief priority for this summit, and also drought. We understand yesterday there was a side event there, and it was being chaired by Peter de Klerk, the Deputy UN Special Representative here for Somalia. He addressed the resilience program here on the ground and the need for international actors to act fast to avert a possible famine condition here in Somalia, and also socio-economic development. The president, before he left for London, went to some Arab countries that pledged they are going to assist in the recovery and the rebuilding of Somalia, chief among them the construction of key roads. So definitely a lot of optimism for the government. The government is going there with a new government, with a new president, new hope, new optimism. So a lot is being expected from this summit, Lindy.
High expectations indeed. Thanks very much, Abdulaziz Bello, joining us there from Mogadishu.